phase. And in the punishment phase, the defendant is entitled to choose whether punishment will be assessed by you, the jury, or me, the judge. In this case, Mr. Matuska, on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Douglas has elected to have the jury decide punishment if and only if you first find the defendant guilty. Now, it is the function of the jury to determine what the facts are. You don't have to go to the library and research anything tonight, or law, or watch Law and Order episodes all night long to refresh yourself on what should happen. In fact, I urge you not to watch Law and Order episodes when you're a juror, because it's fictional. God bless them, and I think they're entertaining and they're great actors, but
anything else?
A lot of it is inaccurate. And so, and that's the problem with watching when somebody's in the profession, and then I watch movies or televisions about that profession. You know how it is in your profession. You'll say that's not the way it really is, and we're less intelligent by watching that. But we can certainly be entertained. But it's hard for me to watch stories, programs about law. I've been doing this for 40 years now, and have tried cases. I started off in the DA's office and then went into private practice with the provost Humphrey firm for 4 years, then had the opportunity to be called to the United States Attorney's Office, where I was a federal prosecutor for 20 years, and then had an opportunity for this position, and 6 of us ran for this job, and I've been here on my 5th term now, in my 5th term, like a blink of an eye. But we have tried almost 550 jury trials here, which I think is a world record. And cost number 22-39327, State of Texas versus Mac Edward Brown. Mr. West is here representing. This is a case that's pending, right? What are we here for?
It's a status, Your Honor. He has been approved for Veterans Court. He's going to be starting in February. I was told by Ms. Chase, or Ms. Malfino. Sorry, old name. So we just need to bump it down the road to see a status down the road if he's still doing well in Veterans Court. But
that's my understanding from Mr. Eckhart. It's his case. He's running elected.
What's the loss on this? Restitution? What was it?
I think the check was for $257, I believe. $257.77. Trying to see if it was actually.
That's not what the complaint says. The complaint, according to him, he did it for somebody else, a black male named Graydon Wilson. He deposited the check in his account in exchange for $50 in cash.
Yes, sir. But the check that was written was $257.77. I'm trying to see if it was actually cash. It was deposited.
You know, John?
I don't know.
You don't know anything about whether there's restitution here or not?
I don't know. I don't think there's restitution. I thought it was recovered.
Well,
that's the impression I got, but I'll go with whatever the state says for sure.
I'm trying to see.
But obviously, if there is restitution, we understand that has to be paid back. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, when? This is over 2 years old. Going on 2.5 years old. I just wish, like in federal court, there was interest tagged onto it. That would only be fair. But it's not, but it's only fair. There's a loss of money when there's wrongdoing and people just get their money. They just pay dollar for dollar when it's a restitution. There's no cost.
Yeah, Your Honor, that's what I was understanding. My understanding is that they cashed a check, but then it got reversed and it got taken back out of his account. So.
In less than 24 hours.
Okay, he said within less than 24 hours, they deducted it back out of his account or negated out the deposit.
Once again, there's the uncertainty here. The defendant deposited his check into his Wells Fargo account for mobile deposit, then withdrew the cash and returned it to this other black male named Wilson.
Right, Your Honor. What I'm saying, within 24 hours, it was deducted out of his account. And
That's not in here. I
know
know what you're saying, but
and again, in Mr. Laird's defense, is not his case. So
generally
it's
with
not,
this kind of,
I'm trying to see, here's the
in these
bank
cases,
records.
there's little or no money in accounts like that. When stunts are pulled that way.
usually, understand, Your Honor.
It's from August, September, September. That's it. September 27th. There's the deposit. That's 9/27. There's a withdrawal for 220. I'll show it was ever paid. You can look right here. Here's where the deposit was right in. I'll show it was ever taken back out.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody got $220 cash out of the ATM somewhere.
Where are you getting any information that they took it out of his account?
From him, Your Honor.
That was my understanding. So
You know, if you only had any credibility.
I understand.
Yeah, no, you're a forger. You forged. You also have a prior conviction for drugs. You're a felon. You have no worthiness of belief. We're going to have to verify anything
No, I
that
understand.
you would say, especially under these circumstances. And you're saying that, but if I find out the records, which the bank records would be accurate, if they're not saying what you're saying, your bond will be revoked. You understand me? Because
that's what I
you were,
remember.
I'm sorry, I was speaking.
I
You
apologize.
can, yeah, let me speak and then she's got to take that down. And when you speak over each other, then she can't do her job as a court reporter and we all get in trouble. Now, if you're going to tell the court some things that aren't accurate, that you would know because these are your actions, we find out differently, you're not worthy of being trusted with a bond. And you'll sit this out in jail till we can complete this case. But if the bank records will be far more believable than anything that you would say out of your mouth. And if the records aren't showing that, then now the records have a date, a particular date, I guess they go through, but we need something, we need to verify from the bank that they did not cover the loss by taking the money out. How much, what was the balance in his account? Are you, is that his account?
Yes.
What was his balance when that exchange, he put the money and then took it out? What was the balance in his account?
He has a balance starting at about 90, looks like $94.
You see, they don't have enough money to take out. They couldn't take it out.
Well, he had
There isn't any
deposits come
money
in
out.
later. I mean, it's.
Sir?
There was deposits come in later. He had regular deposits going into his account. So, Your Honor, my suggestion or my request is let's reset it. Let's get the bank record to show that it was taken out. If not, have him bring restitution to the DA's office for that amount, one of the two. And then also, since he's getting veterans court, we can reset, I mean, we can reset it to February anyway, and then see if he started that, and then have the restitution either paid or proof that the restitution is not owed, one of the two. We'll get the bank record
Well,
to see.
Here's the deal. Veterans Court was something that the district attorney's office deemed was appropriate under circumstances. But I don't think they're factoring in what's happening today in front of me. I mean, that's a break given to somebody who's worthy. I don't like what I'm hearing. If this is to be believed, you're not worthy of passing by criminal law responsibility by using veterans court to behind a forgery, behind falsification to the court. You're not getting it straight to this moment, sir. I don't believe you. And until I can verify things to my satisfaction, we're not moving forward on a veterans court deal.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're looking at, hey, you're looking at up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes.
20 years in prison. And you're going to flirt with trouble by not being straightforward with this court? You have not learned in the past. Did you go to prison on this drug case?
Yes,
How long were you in prison?
2 years, a little less than 2 years.
You didn't learn a lesson about wrongdoing has consequences? But being forthright with being forthright. Look, I caught you in a false statement already.
Can you explain, Your Honor? He had a little explanation. Just tell him
Well, what I meant, Your Honor, was I had the money in the account and then I withdrew the $220, but the account was closed, but it had a negative balance and they pursued me for that.
What do you mean they
So,
pursued you?
I mean, I had collection agencies calling me,
Okay, so then what?
but I can make restitution.
No, but collection agencies calling you doesn't take care of the loss.
But I didn't.
I hope they hound you to death.
But I didn't want to say that I made further deposit because he said.
That's what-
That didn't.
No, that's a fair reading of what you told us, sir. That's what you tried to sell to us. That's why we verify things with people who are charged with crimes like this, because this is all about deceit. Anybody that bold to pull a stunt like this, and they happen a lot in this court, they'll tell me a story. That's why we verify things. But anyway, we're bogged down on this.
Right.
I want to review this in 2 weeks.
And then have them pay the restitution on that day, that had the court's opinion.
If the restitution is owable,
Right,
yes,
yes.
yes. And there is nothing that the district attorney's office shows in its records that that the bank did not absorb a loss. And if he had a negative balance, where in the world would they get the money? They wouldn't get them, they couldn't get it from him. So it's logical that it wasn't paid back to the bank for its loss, which is only fair and just. 2 weeks, I want to review this
Sounds good.
and I want to, but besides, before you leave, we're going to test you before you go to make, because of your drug history, to make sure that you're not walking around in a daze. Sit right over there. Thank you. Terry Young.
Mr. Holmes was arrested on this case, the surety got off the bond.
Okay, so then we got to put him for another date for bringing him up from the jail.
See if he bonds out today or if he stays in the jail.
21-37769 Terry William Young Jr. That's you?
Sir.
Yes, sir. This is the individual who has completed Veterans Court and he's successfully completed. We've already given the certificate of completion to the DA's office. So we're just waiting for
What are we waiting for?
just dismissal.
I'll check with Ms. Malfino today, Your Honor, and dismiss that, and just confirm it and dismiss the.
Okay, is there anything anybody needs to bring up that there's any reason why it should not be dismissed? Because I'm glad, good
Yes.
for you.
Yes, he
Good
did everything he
work.
was supposed to do.
Good work. But like the guy before you, there's not a surprise hiding in the bushes, is there?
Not that we know of, Your Honor. Unless the state has
Well, you
something
would
to
know.
me.
Right.
Okay.
He finished everything. Everything was
Okay.
successful.
You ever been in trouble ever
No,
before the
this was
law
my
other than
first.
this?
It's the first time to be in trouble, and he
Well,
was very
fix this.
successful
Fix this.
in this program and did a good job.
Well, who is this Casey Young?
Casey is my wife, Your Honor.
Okay. Where is she? I mean, are y'all still married?
Yes.
How did that work? Since he's not supposed to have any contact with the victim. I mean, I know we make exceptions, but I don't remember doing it in this case.
That was during I think it's bond condition, Your Honor. I'm not sure it was
Yeah,
condition
because
liaison.
because something bad happens. I'm the guy on that. These people charged with crimes, they've got, they've shown by at least be a probable cause that they're not following the rules. And
But in this case, Your Honor, he did get on the program and did everything very successful and didn't have any.
I know, but
problems.
a bond condition was have no contact with the victim, but generally if they're spouses, we have to work those out
Yeah.
individually, because sometimes there's not a good relationship, sometimes there is.
Apparently there was in this case. Your
Y'all
Honor,
are still
there's been
married?
no-
Yes,
Doesn't?
There's been no hiccups since he's been on the program and successfully completed the program. So
it's been 16 years.
16 years of what?
Marriage, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, this is aggravated assault that the grand jury felt like there was probable cause to believe, where you threatened to kill the person, right?
I had a weapon, yes, Your Honor.
That's not what the grand jury says. It said pointing a firearm and threatening to shoot the lady. That's what you were indicted for. Also that you punched her, choked her. She was observed to have redness around her neck that was consistent with choking. Pointed the gun at her and told her you were going to make the police shoot him in front of her and the kids. Were children present in this? Too?
Not certain, Your Honor. That's
How long have you been married?
16 years, Your Honor.
I've 40. Never thought of such a thing. doing such a thing. Never thought about doing such a thing. Much less carrying it out. What motivated this? This is such a wonderful relationship. What motivated such a bizarre, off the planet action on your part? What happened?
My mental health, Your Honor.
Sir?
My mental health.
What about your
I
method?
was going through PTSD, anxiety, depression.
Are you taking medicine?
Yes.
Were you taking it that time?
No, I was not, Your Honor.
Why not?
I was on the medicine I'm on now, and
No,
I,
was it not working with you or
it
something?
wasn't,
You had some reactions to it or something?
no, I had, I guess I became too accustomed to it, so it wasn't doing the work that it needed to do. I know once I got off of that for a certain period of time.
Why do you have PTSD?
I was in the military,
He's military, that's where he's in Veterans Court. Your Honor.
Where?
Afghanistan,
For how long?
9 months.
Where were you in Afghanistan?
Bob Shank and Bob McLean, Your Honor.
Yeah, what was your rank there?
I was a specialist.
And what were your normal duties?
We go outside the wire. We do convoys between Bob Shank to Bagram. It's about 80 miles. I received small arms fire, IED blasts.
Okay,
And Your Honor, I think that was factored into the fact why he was given.
I know, but
Veterans.
I know, terrible.
Yeah.
You know, war is always bad,
Absolutely.
but marriage is a blessing. I mean, that's, yeah, you always have that haunting, the memories haunt, but you gotta make the best of a relationship with somebody whose relationship you're having is 100 on the other side of the coin from a war.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, it's supposed to be the heaven versus hell. And you gotta do your part to
Yes, Your Honor.
earn it every day.
I am. That's why I've been going to.
All right, good for you. All right. All right, well, best wishes to your family,
Thank you, Your Honor.
but whatever it is on that medicine, make sure that that's done correctly. And
I think this is only one of the I know not restitution, but the fees. I know we talked about last time when we weren't sure if it was going to have to.
I don't know what fees are on this. That's, I don't ever get involved in it unless they're required, then they're not paid for some reason.
Okay.
But I don't think the Veterans Court, I think there's a fee for Veterans Court.
Not everything's taken care of, but I'll check.
But I don't know what it
I
is.
think
That's
part of
done.
what Mr. Boyd's gonna do is check.
Yeah, that's outside
He's,
my. It's not
Role.
part of court costs
Right.
that I have control over. And that's
I'll
something
give
that
it-
y'all need to take care of. Okay, all right.
You're
Then-
good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Good enough on there.
He just,
And that case, Matuska's case, where's that? Is it good?
Likewise.